Yesterday when I was investigating about the NEET 2024 scam, that why, so much of irregularities are happening in NTA, and why not only just for the NEET exam, it's for the also other exam, they have to go for the grace marks. There has been report of starting the examination late because server is collapsing, meaning that interagency has a very poor infrastructure, very poor guidance, very poor management. So when you look at all of this complaint that is coming not only for NEET but for the other exam conducted by National Testing Agency or NTA. So my natural curiosity was to look into what's happening out there. Is that it's such a bad agency or is it new? What's the problem out there? So you figure out that in 1986, actually, it is the Rajiv Gandhi government which thought about it. But since then, India was under coalition government, and usually the state parties, which are regional parties, they always opposed this kind of centralization of the testing. So when BJP came to power in 2018, this NTA or the National Testing Agency started, although it was passed by an act of parliament back in 2013 in the time of UPA government. So it's not really political. It's the fact is that I think his mission was noble, that all the national level exam in India has to be conducted by a centralized agency. But the issue is, when you look at it budget, it was mind-blowing. In fact, I was not really looking at it budget, but looking at all the problems that NTA is facing, as a normal man with some common sense, I definitely thought that they have a budget issue because they don't have enough people, they don't have enough infrastructure. And then bingo, I figured out that their last year budget was 36 crore. It started with a budget of 24 crore rupees. 36 crore rupees, come on. They have think about that. NEET are conducted over more than 600 centers. Same is JEE Mains. They conduct many other exams multiple times. Just to count, they have to pay for the salary of their employees. Just to maintain a minimum cloud infrastructure for such a large examination will cost you much more than that. I was telling it from my IT background. So, point is, why it is such an ill-funded agency when millions of talented students, the students' career depend on that. You can see through this NEET exam 2024 that dreams of the middle class students are getting shattered. All talented student dreams are getting shattered. Not only there, even there were complaints in JEE Mains that they did not like the normalization concept. Although I have to say that that's not a scam. I've gone through it. It's fairly a statistical principle, but why you need to even go for that normalization process? It's all because you don't have the infrastructure to conduct so much of exam. Exam of so many students in a single day because you don't have enough server, because you don't have enough exam halls, you don't have enough vigilance. So many complaints of paper leaks, so many complaints of impersonation. People got arrested. Why? Because you don't have enough infrastructure, because you don't have budget. You need at least 10 times more budget. It's very simple. Not 10 times. I think to conduct an exam such a serious level for so many people, government should have at least 600 to 700, maybe 1,000 crore budget to them. Because they really need to build up a strong team, really need to build up a strong IT infrastructure for doing this. But anyhow, the point is why something that is required more than 1,000 crore or 600 crore rupees of budget, why it is being done at 36 crore? Point is simple. The middle class in India doesn't matter anymore, because in Indian politics, there has been a revolution. I think every political parties have understood that this middle class is useless. They don't vote even most of the time. They don't raise their voice. They're basically an escapist, selfish. All they want, and most of them have only single children, all they want is that they have some money. They'll put them in some private institution and sell them through abroad. That's what they dream of. So they even don't care about that Indian political process. So why bother for them? So, you want your son to be in a government institute, in a government college, and that's a taxpayer money, right? So I think you should have every right to demand that this kind of examination should be conducted, infrastructure has to be created properly. But tell me anything, did you see any movement that middle class Indian people who are suffering because of the poor conduct of examination in both JEE Mains and in NEET, did they move anything against NEET? Just this year only, I heard that basically some people have, in fact, moved forward a petition in Supreme Court. But before that, did you think why government has allocated such a poor budget, where the budget should have been at least 20 times? Come on, a Rafale fighter jet cost 30 times, 40 times more than this. But here's the bottom line. I think people have to understand that this is a democratic country. And in this country, if you're not raising the voice of yours and really not forcing the government to do your job as a collective bargain, nothing will happen. I mean, think about that. So many people's life depends on only 36 crores of budget in NTA. You know what is 36 crores? 6 kilometers of highway in India will cost you more. 6 kilometers, not six, probably 4 kilometers of highway will cost you more to build it. And India is building tens of thousands of kilometers of highway. So this budget is nothing to India. Think about this, that how the budgets are allocated. I mean, you probably never bothered because you believe that politics somehow is supposed to work for you because you are privileged, Indian middle class. Government is supposed to do everything for you. No, sir. Things don't happen that way. Not in any politics. I live in US. Here also, our education is based on actually individual district. And I'm telling you, including me, we had to get to the ground, protest against some of the decision that our school board has taken politically. So politics is everywhere. You cannot escape. You may think otherwise, but then you will ruin yourself.